guys? This is Kaiju0621, and this is my spoiler review of the Godzilla 2014 movie. Now, I bet everyone has seen it, probably, like everyone, because it's been 1 week, and so far the box office is exploding. Like, I think it has like 100 million so far. I mean, yeah, I think it has more than that. I don't know. I haven't checked it lately, but man, this movie is great. I already did the non-spoiler review. Check it out. So let's get into the deeper things of the film. So starting off with the things these are the things that really surprised me. And remember, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, just turn it off. But yes, this is the first thing. Bryan Cranston dies like 30 minutes in the film. That really, really, really surprised me. Like, I thought, like, I really didn't think he would do anything in the, like, later on if he actually survived. But he dies in the Muto hatching, when, like, the Muto's hatching. He's on, like, this, like, bridge, and the crane falls and hits the bridge, and the bridge falls, and he falls to the ground. And he dies in a helicopter. And the thing, like Aaron Taylor Johnson's a kind of good actor, but he's emotionless. Like, when his father died, he was only, like, crying a little, and, like, he didn't have any expressions. But the best actor here, like, these are my favorite characters, like, in order. First is Bryan Cranston, Ken Watanabe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the commander guy, what is his name? I forgot. But I think his real name is David something, Strathern, I think. And next is Elizabeth Olsen and Sally Hawkins. That's in order. And yeah, the characters are great. I mean, the fight scenes. Let's get on to the fight scenes. I know this is the spoiler review. There's a wing Muto and the 8-legged. There's two Mutos. The female is the 8-legged and the wing is the male. The male is really small compared to the female. When I first saw them, I thought it was the female's son, I think, but no. And then the first scene, this is the other thing that really surprised me. In the Hawaii attack scene, like right when they were pinning the camera up to Godzilla's body, when he roared, he cut away that really quick, and that's the thing I kind of really didn't like about the film. And you only see it from a newscast view, and yeah, that was really surprising. I really didn't expect that. But it was kind of funny. Like, when that scene happened, everyone was laughing at my movie theater. But yeah, and that's also another thing. The first they showed the male Muto hatching first. Then they discovered that there's another Muto in Nevada, in I think a nuclear waste place. I don't know. And yeah, and they discovered that there's another Muto, and it destroys Las Vegas. Really giant, and I like how it destroys the Eiffel Tower. And the thing it was really cool. Like they keep teasing us throughout the film. Like every time they show like the Mutos or Godzilla, they show it from a newscast. And even if they didn't show his whole body, they show like parts of him like in the beginning. I mean, they showed the 1954 scene, which was awesome. I mean, they show like the bomb and everything. It looked all like the camera, like the footage of 1954 was all like bad quality, and it's all like, 'cause it's like 1954. I really like that. And and like when these Mutos they feed on nuclear waste, and they literally eat the missiles out of because one scene in the Hawaii, they're like in the jungle, those soldiers, and they look up and it's a submarine where they wipe off that goop, that white goop. I think it's the saliva of the Muto. And when they look up, they see the Muto eating missiles from the submarine. Then they fight. It's really awesome. And these are the attacks of the Muto. The best one is the EMP blast. Like it turns off everything. I think they used it like 4 times in the movie, or 3. I don't know. And also, let's get on to the really big thing: the Easter eggs. Yes, they have Easter eggs. One of the Easter eggs. These are all the Easter eggs I found. First was the Mothra. Okay, so when you see Aaron and Bryan Cranston in the destroyed city, like they're like looking around investigating. One of the fish tanks, it says scribbled on the bottom Mothra, and I saw that the first time. It was really awesome. It was like really cool seeing maybe like Mothra, all that teasing of us like Rodan and Mothra. And the next Easter egg is the one I saw in Nevada. When they open the container and they see like that destroyed, where like the Mewtwo escaped, it looked like Godzilla 1954's spines. And yeah, I think those are all the Easter eggs. I think there were way more than that. Only I don't remember of them. But yeah, the fights are awesome. Really, when you see the real fight is at the end, which is like the San Francisco attack. Yeah, the San Francisco was the best. Like the Hawaii was great. I mean, the Hawaii scene was all awesome. And yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff, like the normal movie, and getting to the final fight, they show like everything we saw in the official trailer, the teasers, everything else. We saw like the tail passing, and actually the Mewtwo had eggs. Yes, the female had eggs, and they were gonna hatch into thousands of them, like thousands, and they were like the nest was in the San Francisco, like in a hole, I think like a dirt hole, and they placed the eggs there, and Aaron, and like this is what happened. Then the soldiers, they took out the missile from the eggs, like they were wrapped around the missile, I think it was the atom bomb, and they took it away, and when they were leaving, Aaron thought that if he didn't do something, these eggs are gonna hatch, and this actually could exterminate the whole world, like take over, like really. And he opened I think there's like a sideways truck, and gasoline spilled out, and then it lit up like a fire, and all the eggs exploded. The female got really sad. He was crying, like really. And I like the fighting strategy of these Mewtwo's. Like when the female was crying, the wing Mewtwo, the male was fighting with Godzilla, and this fight was brutal. I mean, brutal. Like the Mewtwo with the male Mewtwo was the one that fought the most, like the one that caused more damage, even if he was small. Like those hooks he has, like he flies up and comes down and slices Godzilla, and this is a brutal fight. I mean, then Godzilla grabs, I think it was the female or the male. He like punches him, and he falls on the floor and kicks him and all that stuff. The fight scenes are awesome. But this is the real point of the movie. Well, not really the real point, but probably the best. The atomic breath. First, I love the strategy. Like, I think the Mewtwo was gonna kill Aaron. Like, you're looking at him, like you're looking face to face, and then you hear like a tiny like a thunder, like a tiny little thunder. Then you see something blue, and it's the tip of Godzilla's tail. And what I really love, that each spike is lighting up, and every time it does like a lightning sound, and it's like doo, and then it like goes to the end, and then Godzilla goes back, pulls out his chest, and boom, he fires all the atomic breath. And yeah, it's really awesome. I like the atomic breath. It wasn't that big like before. The Godzilla atomic breath was like all around his mouth. This time it's just like a straight fire breath, like from his throat. And really, it doesn't cause that much damage, but yeah, it did kind of cause damage to the Mewtwo. Buildings falling. Then a really cool scene with Godzilla, he actually interacts with the humans. When Aaron is on the floor and he sees Godzilla, he's on the floor because the building is falling on him. He actually looks at Aaron and he's like sad, Godzilla, and then he gets buried by the building. And yeah, and then that's when the military try to set off the bomb, try to prepare it, and then that's when Godzilla. Before that, Godzilla killed the male Mewtwo by swinging its tail. That was a really brutal kill, because like I thought it was just a tail hit to the building, and I was like, why? But I when I saw it the second time, the movie, I saw what really happened. He hit the tail, he hit the building, the Mewtwo hit the building, and all the metal, like all the what are those things, like all the concrete went inside the Mewtwo. It like stabbed him and all that, and he died like that. And I even saw like a metal going right through his head. So yeah, he died. And then yeah, it's really it wasn't that sad like that I cried. No, it's like it's kind of like a little touching, yeah. And then the Mewtwo, the 8-legged, is like fighting with the army. He literally goes down and bites, like kills, like eats the people. Like he doesn't really eat them. His mouth just comes down and covers like the armor. I can't explain it, but yeah, it's brutal. And like a bunch of deaths in this movie. Then when Aaron like sets up, I think he's like was doing something with the bomb on the little fishing boat. Then when he looks back, you see the giant Mewtwo right in front of him, looking at him. And he's like staring at him like he's about to die. And he's very injured. He was limping. I think he like broke his leg from that like fall he had when he like the eggs exploded and he like went up like a few feet. The Mewtwo's looking at him like we all know he's about to die. But then you hear a thunder, and then you see Godzilla comes out of nowhere and grabs his mouth open. We all thought it was King Kong, and this is, oh my gosh, the best part of the movie. He grabs his mouth, stretches it open, and boom, he fires his atomic breath. He like wide open mouth. He opened the mouth of the Mewtwo and he blasts his atomic breath. Some people call it, a bunch of people call it, the kiss of death. Yes, that's the name of the kill. Probably the best kill of every Godzilla movie. That was a really brutal kill. He grabbed the head, puts it up, and he's looking at the head, and he throws the head of the Mewtwo on the water. Then you have like a big like music, like da-na-na, like a victory song, and he's like roaring and everything. Really nice kill. Then Godzilla's like really injured. He falls on the floor, and like it's like Aaron and Godzilla are the same. Like they're both dying, those two. And he's like on Aaron is on the fishing boat, and he sees above the Golden Gate Bridge destroyed. Then like these helicopters come and save him, and far away you see in the ocean the giant bomb, and it explodes. And yeah, and this is also one of the best parts of the movie. You see Godzilla on the floor dead, everything else. Like everyone thought he died. Like I really thought he died, but until someone spoiled it for me. Like they said that he didn't die. People really thought he died, and he's on the floor. He really looked like he died. It looked like Zilla when he was on the floor. I hate Zilla. I don't even want to mention it. But he's on the floor, and then Ken Watanabe looks, and you can see his nostrils moving, and then he starts breathing. He gets up, and everyone's like looking up, like scared. Then they all smile, and in the TV it says, "Our King of the the King of the Monsters, our savior." And yeah, everyone's like cheering and everything. All this like happy music with Godzilla, like a victory. Then he goes back to the water. Really still injured, but he goes back, and that's the end of the movie. Yeah, so that's really it for the spoiler review. That's really all I think. I hope I covered everything. Great movie, great visuals, great music, great characters. The acting too. Great movie. That's all I have to say. So yeah, this is really it for the end of the review. This is Kaiju Zilla 621 signing out.